Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to day 4. If you can see me, if you can hear me, just type yes in the comments below. Just want to make sure you can see me and hear me okay. Today is going to be really, really amazing. I have some special treats for you today. But just type yes if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm really excited about today. And also make sure you have your workbook ready. So if you have your workbook ready, just make sure you take lots of notes. Also, okay, great. So you can see me, you can hear me. Hey, Adrice, how are you? It's great to see you. Great. There's a Facebook user saying yes, but I'm not sure who that is, but I'm glad you can hear me and see me. On the program I'm using, which is StreamYard, if you click the StreamYard link in the Facebook notes, then I'll be able to see who's giving me the comments. So you can just type your name at the end of it so I can see you. But it just shows up as Facebook user, so I don't know who it is. But I'm glad you can see me and hear me. So let me know if you have any questions about what we went through on day 1, day 2, day 3. Also, I'm hoping you did your homework. And also, make sure you have something to hydrate yourself. Make sure you have something to drink. Also, if you have anything that buzzes, if you have anything that vibrates, if you have anything that's going to distract you, I want to make sure that you give yourself this hour, because I want you to really flourish and get the most out of this next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So do yourself a favor and just turn off any distractions that you have. And let me know what you're drinking as well. I'm going to put my, let me use this hand. I want you to guess what I'm drinking this evening as well. So I'm gonna put this here, and if anyone can guess what I'm drinking, that'd be great. So today we are on page 7, which we're going to talk about choosing the right foods. But if you have any questions about the previous days, then just go ahead and type them in the chat and let me know. And also, if you have any ahas or breakthroughs that you want to share from your previous days as well, let me know, and I'm happy to see those and go through those with you. So any guesses for what I'm drinking today? Oops, I'll put it this way. Can you see what it is? So while I drink, while I sip, you type. So I'll just keep speaking until someone types in the comments. Starfruit, lime, and water. Great guess. You've got most of it correctly. Good job. There's something green at the bottom. So if you could, you can see my comment. It's Starfinger. I could see your comment because I'm reading it, but I'm not sure who it's from. But yeah, there's Starfruit, Starfinger, there's lime water, and there's something else in there, the green thing. So, yeah. Because we're going to be speaking about flourishing with your health, which is Extremely important. Your health is important in terms of your body flourishing, because if your business is going to work well, if your life is going to work well, then it's really important that you have the energy to make sure that you can go ahead and flourish and have your business do well. Because if you don't have the energy to make your business work, then what's the point? So we're going to talk about foods that can help your body to flourish. And one of the modules in From Fear to Flourish is amplifying your energy. And so what we're going to be talking about today are foods that would help you to be extremely energetic, that's going to help your energy to really be off the hook and just make you feel good in your body, make you feel good in your health. And one thing I'm going to do today is I am going to bring on just a couple persons that I'm currently working with that that are really allowing their bodies to flourish and are using some of the methods and some of the things that we're going through to make sure that their bodies are well and their bodies are flourishing. The first person I'm going to bring on, his name is Tarek. And I've been working with Tarek for a couple months. And what's really amazing is when I first met Tarek, he wanted some help around some help with his hemorrhoids and just some different things with his energy. And then our coaching relationship transitioned a little bit. And we started doing stuff not just around health, but in terms of business as well. So I am going to bring him on for a second, just so he could share with you what his experience is like and share with you in terms of how he has been flourishing. So I'm going to just bring him on for a second. Let's see here. Hey, Tarek.
Hello, Tracy.
How you doing?
Wonderful, thank you.
Great, good. So I just want you to share a little bit in terms of, because this evening we're talking about foods and allowing your body to flourish with foods. And I just wanted to have them hear from you in terms of what it's like, your relationship in terms of us working together during the past few months, what changes you found in your body, how would that transition a little bit in terms of just aspects of help with business. So just share what's it like, what's it been like for the last couple months.
Okay, so yeah, definitely reached out to Merle Tracy. I was having some issues with some hemorrhoids, some inflammation, not eating the right foods, and it's evolved into so much more. So definitely got into juicing, started doing celery juicing in general, bought a really good juicer. She held space for me to walk me through that process, getting back into having smoothies, sometimes once, sometimes twice a day. So just being a lot more, because I used to struggle with emotional eating. Whenever I'd get stressed out, I'd go to food for love, for trying to numb myself as a coping mechanism, because I'm really sensitive and empathic, and I kind of take on a lot of people's energies. So I loved working with her. It just made me feel like I had like having someone by your side, holding you accountable. I love that she was like, send me your 3 meals. And that not only made it held me accountable, because I knew everything I was making, someone was going to see it. My health coach was going to see it. So it made me not only cook better food, it made me make the food even look prettier. Yeah, just a lot of strategies, very simple stuff to make meals ahead of time. I used to order so many times. I'd order food, like order junk food or order fast food, and cut that out by 95%. Feel like I got my energy back. I'm taking care of my health more than ever, getting back into my working out, my fitness. And then it's evolved past the, I have invested in a blender I've been resisting to invest in for years now, and she walked me through that process. Got my Vitamixer, I love it. What else? Yeah, and then it evolved into business things. On our one of our last calls, Merle Tracy, we basically I was overwhelmed with all the things I needed to do, and just having someone like Merle Tracy holding space for me as a high level coach, big achiever. To kind of bring it down, simplify it step by step, write the steps out. I'm a go kind of guy, and to have someone just like, okay, let's slow it down, let's plan it out, helping me just hear even my own thoughts, my voice, hear what's going on internally, and helping me figure out strategies. So with her help, I was like, okay, done. This one's complete. This one's complete. I know what to do. I feel empowered and it feels great. So, and we're only starting. I feel like this is the beginning of our journey and so much has already happened and it's going to keep going. I love Merle Tracy's passion. She really cares about people's health. She's a go-getter. She's an achiever. She's been through it. You know, she vibrates it from within. And yeah, I fully try. I highly recommend reaching out to Merle Tracy, having her support you in achieving your goals and dreams, whether it's financial, whether it's career-based, whether it's health-based. She's your gal.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm
Welcome.
really glad that you're flourishing. I'm really glad that
Thank you.
you've really gotten into you. I was like, Derek, get it out of your head. Just break down on paper. Let's organize it. So I'm glad that um, you're flourishing and you're doing so much better. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on for a few moments just to share your experience with flourishing. And I'll definitely see you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Good luck. Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, great. So does anybody have any questions? Anyone has any questions? Anyone wants to guess about my juice? I'm not seeing the comments anymore. I'm not sure if something happened. Let's see. If you can hear me, just type yes so I make sure that I'm seeing there are people on the live, so I'm assuming that you're good. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're good and that you're there. Eleanor, if you're on live as well, just type yes in the comments so I could see you as well. Technology is amazing, but when it's not, it's not. Okay, good, good, good. Does anybody have any questions so far? Any additional guesses of what the green stuff is? Okay, good, 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 good. Great. So yeah, today we're going to be on page 7. And in order for us to amplify our energy and for our bodies to flourish, it's really important that we truly actually make sure that we're not abandoning our temple. I know sometimes it's very, take a look again, the green leaves, not cucumber, take a look. It's really important that we not abandon our bodies. And so there's a lot of confusion out there in terms of foods and what foods to eat and how foods are going to give us energy and what would be the best foods to flourish. And so I always like to start off simple. I always like to, yay, it is mint. Great guess. It is mint. Yeah. So it's mint, star fruit or 5-finger, and a little bit of lime. So great. So also type in what you're drinking as well. And also, Eleanor, if you're on the chat, just type yes in the comments so I could see you as well. But yeah, so we take our bodies for granted. You know, we see our bodies as this skin and bone. But if our bodies are not feeling well, if our bodies are not up to the space to make us feel amazing, then we cannot really go forward and fulfill our other dreams. And I know a lot of us, based on what was written on day 1 and on day 2, a lot of us have really, really big visions. A lot of us have really, really big goals. And so, okay, I see a couple water drinkers. And so one of the misconceptions is, like, there's a lot of things about low fat, high carb, things sorted by calories, and there's just so much confusion out there. And if there's any confusion, if there's anything that you're confused about in terms of health, if there are confusions that you have about health and wellness, type that in the chat and I'll be happy to clarify those. Excuse me 1 second, I just need to get in touch with Elle. 1 sec. Okay, so there's so much confusion about what is it that we're meant to eat. And the first broad rule that I always say is always eat what is local to your environment, because the closer to your environment it is, then the better it would be for you. So if you can get things that are locally grown in your natural environment, then that's better. Then the second rule of thumb that I normally use is you always want to make sure that the foods that you're eating are processed as little as possible. So the more processed something is, then the less likely it is that it's going to be helpful for your body. You want to make sure that whatever you're eating has maintained all the enzymes. You want to make sure that what you're eating has all the vitamins, all the minerals in there, so that it helps your body to release a lot of toxins. It helps your body to really flourish. And so when you're choosing foods, you want to make sure, especially if it's raw foods, you want to make sure that it has like really good water content. It's like high water based. So for instance, when you're choosing something to drink, like here, you notice I drink quite a bit of water, or I would add different things to it to flavor it. And you would see things like the Gatorades or other items like that, that's really high in sugars that really spike your energy levels and make you feel less energetic. It makes you feel less vibrant. It makes you feel less, gives you less energy. And even though they market it as a health drink, it's actually really not one of the best things that you can drink. Is that clear? Am I making sense? So it would be better off if you actually made something local, like, if you had like local growers, or if you live in an environment where you have things like local strawberries or local, whatever, use those instead of the processed drinks. Then there's this misconception in terms of fats. And so a lot of people are concerned, like thinking like fats are bad and fats are negative and fats are unhealthy. But there's good fats, like the healthy MCT, the medium chain triglycerides. Those are really good for you. And you'd find things like that in things like coconut oil, in things like coconut milk. And those are really good things to really use and really incorporate in your meals. And people have this notion, like, if I take things in and it hasn't fat, it would be bad for me. And so I kind of have to get my clients to come to the understanding that even though something hasn't fat, meaning it's like thinking that if something's marked fat, it's going to put fat on my body, but not necessarily. Like all our cells hasn't fat. And actually our brain is actually made up of 70% fat and water. So if you actually avoid fats altogether, it's actually going to make your body and your brain much more sluggish. It's actually going to make you think a lot less. Your thinking is going to be very slowed down, very slurred. So incorporate healthy fats like your avocados and your coconut oils in your diet, and giving your bodies and your cell really, really great nutrients. Also, too, it's really good for your skin. It gives your skin a really great glow and helps you to feel amazing. Is that clear? If you have any questions, type that in the chat. I know there's so much confusion in terms of what to eat and what not to eat. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Okay, so we don't have any questions so far. Also, one of the things that I find that comes up a lot is that we eat for the wrong reasons. We eat for the wrong reasons. So a lot of times we eat not because we're hungry, but we eat because we're in an emotional state. We eat because we are feeling bored. We might feel like our partner may have broken up with us, and we feel kind of sad. And so we go to food, we use food as a way of making us feel really, we use food as a way of making us feel better. You know what I mean? So we would go grab a bag of chips because we know, or we go have some chocolate because, our boyfriend or somebody did something horrible to us. And it's just the way we feel. It make us feel better. Or, our bodies have a craving for salt and we just go grab the closest thing to eat. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever just grabbed something to eat because, it's just a convenient thing to do? Okay, so Lucy wants to know, what are my thoughts on wheat and its products? The thing with wheat and the thing with wheat and how wheat has progressed is, before the 1980s, even in the early 1990s, we had wheat that was actually grown naturally, whereas now it's genetically modified. And because it's been genetically modified, it actually makes it very difficult for a lot of people, for their body to digest it. So when it gets into your body and it gets into your system and it gets into your stomach, sometimes there's a lot of difficulty in digesting it. And what happens is that wheat sticks on your colon and sometimes causes a lot of bloating. It also causes you to feel gassy. Also, for a lot of people with what's called celiac disease, eating wheat actually makes them feel ill. Now, if your body isn't rejecting it and it's you're not having difficulty with it, then it's okay to eat it, but make sure that what you're eating is from a organic, non-genetically modified source, because it being genetically modified makes it very difficult for your body to digest it. So just check on the source you're getting it from. And if you're getting it from a good source, where it's not genetically modified, then some people's body find it okay to have. But most of the wheat that's on the commercial market, because it's genetically modified, a lot of people just find that it makes them gassy, and it makes them feel very, very irritable. Does that answer your question? I'm going to just check on something really quickly. Okay, great. So even in terms of things like eggs and dairy, there's also a lot of questions in terms of, should I eat the yolk, and not the white, or should I eat the white and not the yolk? And in the 80s, there was this big thing, the yolk is bad, don't eat it, it's high in cholesterol. And then in the 90s, it's like, oh, the yolk has a lot of sulfur, you should eat that. And there was just so much confusion, and there's all this confusion. My thoughts on eggs is, God made the egg whole, eat the bloody egg. If you can eat it whole. But there's just so much misconception of this section hasn't much, and then you have different people with like different doctors. You ask one doctor and they tell you one thing, you ask another doctor and they tell you another thing. And so I always say your best doctor is your body. And one of the things for me that's extremely important and extremely critical, that we're going to be dealing with as well, is really getting you to listen to your body and listen to what your body is telling you. Because I may eat wheat all the time and feel really horrible, and it just may make me feel really sick. And then someone else may eat it and they're finding that it feels okay for them. It's even the same thing with carbohydrates, and it also depends on how the egg is cooked. There's also a thing with carbohydrates, and carbs are bad and you shouldn't eat carbs. But depending on where you are and how much energy levels you need, then you need carbohydrates as well to help your body to get that extra energy. So if you're out in the sun working all day, and if you're in an environment where it's a lot warmer, then there are different needs that your body has. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want you to become the expert and the genius of your body and your health, so that you actually listen to your body and realize, okay, when I eat this, I feel tired. When I eat this thing, I feel bloated. But because we don't take the time out to listen to our bodies, we don't take the time out to hear what our body is saying, then we end up feeling, we end up giving our power away to the doctor, kind of like I did when the eczema came out first. I was looking to the doctor as the person who had all the answers. I was looking to the doctor as the person who was going to save my life. And it was until I decided, okay, I'm going to take matters into my own hand and, figure out a different way in which I could make sure that my body was getting nutrients and food that was healthy for it. That was when things turned around. That's when I started feeling better. But instead of giving your power away to the doctors in the medical community, it's just really important that you listen to what it's saying. And it takes some getting used to. You know what I mean? When you start out on changing the way you eat and changing your and I hate the word diet, you know what I mean? But changing your lifestyle. I really hate the word diet. And the reason why I hate the word diet, what's the first 2 letters of the word diet? Type that in real quick. What's the first 2 letters of the word diet? Yeah, the first 2 letters of the word die. And when people go on these crazy diets, guess what happens? 1, they feel like they're dying. 2, they feel like they're starving. And what happens is, if the intention was to get rid of 20 pounds, they get rid of the 20 pounds, but they go ahead, they find it back, and they end up gaining more weight. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you don't go off on these crazy diets, and that you actually make sure that you are doing something that's a lifestyle. You're doing something that is actually going to change your whole way of being for the long run. It's not just something that's whimsical and you're doing it just for a short term, but you're choosing it for the long term, and you're choosing it so that your body can really flourish and that your body can really see it as a lifestyle change and change it for the long term. As human beings, we are the only species that actually go on diets. We are the only species that have all these crazy ways of eating. If you look at a goat outside, or a cow, or a sheep, or an animal in the wild, the way they eat is just normal to them. It's just natural. But we go off and we do these really ridiculous things, and we actually cause more harm to our bodies than good. And so it's really important that we look at what our ancestors ate. You know what I mean? Look at how naturally they ate things. They weren't overly processed. They didn't really have all these added ingredients on the back of the sticker that you can't read and understand. It was a much more natural, less processed way of being. So yeah, it's really important that we eat in a more natural, more nature-like way of eating, so that we go back to how we were meant to evolve. We go back to how we were meant to be. Do you have any questions? Hey, Al, I'm glad you got on. If you can check the link and then go on, I could send you the link. Al is going to be joining us shortly. I really love Al. Al is one of my current clients. And Ella has been trying for over 20 years to just really make some changes in her way of eating, her lifestyle. And she tried like different things, different ways of changing how she ate. And she would go up and go down, but nothing seriously. And during the 2 months that we've been working together, she released over 24 pounds. So let's just give Elle a really big round of applause. And I am going to send Elle a message so she can get on. Hold on one second, Elle. Let's see. Because it'd be great to have Elle come on so she could just share with us a little bit. Hold on, let me just check something. Let's see here. So let me go and send, I'm trying to send Elle a link, so I'm multitasking today, I apologize. Let's see here. Elle, if you can get on, just type yes. Let's see. I need a co-pilot. It'll make it a lot easier. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Give me just 1 second. Just want to make sure Elle can get on. Okay. Okay, so I sent the link to your email, Elle, so you should be able to get that link to get on, so we can both share the screen so everyone can see you. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, I'll just continue. So in terms of implementing different ways and different foods that you can eat, one of the things that I find really helpful is I find juicing and smoothies is a really great way of, oh, thank you. Juicing and smoothies is a really great way of starting your morning, because how you start your morning and how you start your day actually determines how the rest of your day turns out. So if you start your morning off being healthy and doing something that's helpful, and you do something that's really great for your body, then it actually makes you feel good and it makes you make really great choices for the rest of the day. So I normally start off with a nice juice or a nice smoothie, and I find that gives me a lot of energy to start my day. One of the things that I find actually helpful is there's this leaf called moringa. Are you familiar with the moringa tree, the moringa leaf? Are you familiar with that one? If you are, then moringa has about over 100 different minerals and 100 different vitamins in there. And so it's one of those things that's grown here locally, but if not, there's the powdered form that you can get overseas. And that's a great addition that you could add to your smoothies and drinks. Is a great way of getting vitamins. It's a great way of getting minerals. Another thing that I find really helpful is using like a lot of cucumbers, things like watermelon. Those are really high water content fruits. So using those actually help in terms of clearing your skin out, clearing toxins out, and helps to flush things out of your body. Another thing I do that's really, really useful is I sometimes, I don't do it every day, but I sometimes take a sip of coconut oil in the morning. So I would just take a teaspoonful. And I'm not, yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, coconut oil has in those medium chain fatty acids that's really helpful in terms of helping my brain and my mind to really just feel calm, help me to think clearer. But it's really great at balancing your gut, and so, like the bacteria in your gut, the healthy bacteria, what that does, it helps to help the bacteria to grow. You know what I mean? Helps with the good bacteria. And so it cleans out the toxins that's in your stomach and allows your body and your gut to really flourish. So that's one of the things that I do as well. So I see Elle is here, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add Elle to the stream. So I'll add Elle. Let's see. Our gut. Elle, and so you turn off your healthy bacteria. You hear me?
No.
It helps with the good bacteria.
Merle, can you hear me?
So it cleans up the toxins. You turn off the computer. Allows your body
because
your gut
your dialogue, I'm getting it overlapped. So you're not talking now, but I'm hearing you talking. It's really confusing.
So at computer.
Anyway.
Let's see. Okay. Facebook.
Don't talk at all. Don't talk at all. Alex, Merle, can you hear me? I can.
So,
because your dialogue, I'm getting it overlapped. Yes. So you're not talking now, but I'm hearing you talking. It's really confusing.
Computer.
Anyway.
Message. Hold on.
Don't talk at all. Don't talk at all. Alex. Can you hear me? Oh my gosh, it's.
Hold on. Okay, sorry guys, technology. Okay. It would have been nice to have Elle on, but the feedback is strange. So I'm going to try add her again and see if that helps. Hold on one second.
Oh my God. Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Wow.
Turn off.
What?
Do you have two devices going on?
No, I don't. I just closed one or two windows that I have open.
Okay, great.
I just have my phone by the side, but I'm gonna just lock it off. Okay. Oh my goodness! Hello.
Say hi to
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
It's okay.
I heard like 3 versions of you, all overlapped, you know. So anyway, here we are.
Good. Everyone, this is Elle. I love working with Elle. In the meantime, Elle, but before we start, just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath in. And just breathe out. You got the technology thing sorted, so it's okay. With life, with technology, we just make the best we can with what we have, right?
Right.
Great. So I was sharing before that. Oh, you're drinking water. Great. I was sharing before that I really enjoy working with you because of your commitment to flourish and your commitment to really doing what it takes to get your body to the next level and some of the transitions that happened. But if you could just share, what was it about me that made you decide to do the work with me that you're doing?
Oh my goodness. Well, a few things. It was perfect timing because you came to me just when I was really feeling pretty low about myself, and we got talking, and I didn't know actually that you did this, and it just all fell into place, and I felt very confident of your knowledge, and also I love your positivity and your strength, and it just felt very natural, and I just said, okay, it's now or never. I'm signing up. It's been wonderful.
Great. And in terms of changes in how your body feels, like what were the biggest differences that you found in your body?
Right away, I had more energy, much more energy during the
Okay.
day, and physical energy. Like I could go down in my very steep garden, up and down, and not be so out of breath and upset. And well, of course, releasing the pounds that I released quite quickly has been amazing. It's going a little slower now, but that's fine. It's not a race anyway. So I think the energy, but also my mind. I feel a lot clearer. I'm less moody. It's just good all around. I really feel like I want to stick with this forever.
That's good. That's great. In terms of just the lifestyle, because as I was mentioning earlier, like this is a lifestyle. I think a lot of times when we see things in television or things are marketed, we think, oh, it's a quick fix. But life is like the way we eat is meant to be a way that's sustainable and a way that we are going to enjoy doing so that we don't start something and then keep going back on these yo-yo ways of being.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on. I really appreciate that. If anyone has any questions for Elle, I'm going to give you a minute or so to type that in. I apologize if there was a lot of feedback earlier as well, but we were able to get the technology to work. To the flourish thing, I just thought I'd share a few people who were flourishing in terms of, making lifestyle changes that's going to help them flourish. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions for Elle, then I'll allow Elle to go back in the audience.
You mean that's it? It's all over? Oh.
Great. All right. So, what was that? Let's see if there.
I'm joking with you. I put lipstick on.
It looks beautiful on you, Elle.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say bye. I'm gonna just remove you from my screen, and yeah. But thank you, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for your patience. We've had some technology challenges. Are there any questions that we have at all? I'm going to take a sip. Okay, so Elle's gone, but Elle's main challenge was Elle was feeling a bit, she really wanted to get rid of some of her weight because her weight was making her feel depressed, her energy was low, and she was just feeling not herself. She knew that she was getting older, and she really knew that it was necessary for her to really take her health seriously and make sure that her life and her energy was top notch so that, she wanted to make sure that as a more mature woman, that her spunk remained the same and she wanted to be like a sexy 60-something-year-old. And so her main challenge was her energy was low. She wanted to get rid of some of the weight. And that was mainly it, she was feeling a little bit depressed, but she wanted to make sure that she felt physically and mentally better. So those were the main things. In terms of, I know Tarek had hemorrhoids, but Elle didn't have any challenge like that. It was more of the weight. She didn't want to have diabetes because a lot of her family members had succumbed to that before and had, there were people in her family that had died from other autoimmune diseases. So she wanted to make sure that she took care of her health. She wanted to make sure that her body was flourishing so that she was at the peak of her health. So that was that. Yeah. There are these little weather flies that are coming around and like distracting. But Yeah, it's really important that we put our health as a priority. As much as we're going to be doing the 90-day journey in terms of making sure our business move forward, I think it's important that we have as much health in there as possible in terms of our energy being up there, so that when we're dealing with things that come up in our business, because we have an energy level that can deal with that, then we're able to make better decisions. We're able to maintain the stamina, and we're not weighed down by foods that we're eating or by things that we're ingesting that's making us feel bad. Do we have any other questions? One of the things with food, as I was mentioning earlier, is that there's a lot of there's a strong emotional relationship to food. So when we're celebrating, the normal thing is to go out and eat, which is good because we're social creatures, and it's important that we connect with each other and that we maintain our relationships. So there's a lot of, like with food, there's a deep psychological and social connection in terms of food and what we eat. Even as children, as a treat, our parents would give us things like a lollipop or Cheetos or something that may not have been the healthiest thing, but as children we thought, oh, this is a really great treat. And so we associate some foods, even though they aren't the best foods for us, we associate as as something really great, because when we were younger, it was a way of us being rewarded. Now we just have to find a way to actually reverse the relationship and reward ourselves with food, but done in a way that the food is actually nourishing and giving our body those things that we need. So we're eating foods, it tastes great, but it's also giving our bodies the energy that it needs. And it's meeting the emotional and the psychological needs that we have for social connection. Do we have any questions about that? Is that clear? Are you following what I'm saying? Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if you have any questions. So on the workbook, there's some things below that says key steps to implement. So one of the things that I'd like us to implement is you want to start off your day with something that is going to encourage you, because psychologically your mind is going to say, I already started the day good, so I'm going to continue. So start off with just make a commitment, like what is it that I'm going to commit to make sure that I'm starting off my day well? Is it I'm going to add some more greens to what I'm eating? Is it I'm going to add some coconut oil to what I'm, like a spoonful in the morning? Is it I'm going to drink water? And there's a thing with water that can be really confusing, and I'm going to clear that up right now. So there's this belief that we need to be drinking like 7-8 glasses of water, or 10 glasses of water, or a gallon of water, or 2 liters of water. But the amount of water that you consume is actually based on your weight. I'm going to repeat that again. The amount of water you consume is actually based on your weight. So it's not one size fit all. And that's the sad thing with the health industry, is that they make it one size fit all. So they make a plan where it's everybody is doing the same thing, and that's so incorrect. So in terms of water, you actually need to find out your weight. So say, for instance, you weigh 150 pounds. So what you would do is you would divide 150 pounds into two. So you divide it by half and you'd get 75. And so it would be 75 ounces. So it'd be 75 ounces of water that you would need to consume during the day. So somebody who weighs 200 pounds, they would need to consume 100 ounces. Somebody who weighs 75 pounds, not 75 pounds, 150 pounds, needs to consume only 75 ounces of water. Someone who weighs 300 pounds, they need to consume 150 ounces of water. And so if I weighed, say, 200 pounds and it was, I was converting it, I would need 100 ounces of water. And the glass I'm using here, this is like a 12-ounce glass. So 100 ounces of water would be, this would be like 96 would be 96 ounces is like 8 glasses, and then maybe an extra half of a glass. So I would need 8.5 of those glasses. Is that making sense? Are you following? So you don't need to over consume and be drinking like guzzles and guzzles of water all the time. You just need to make sure that you're drinking enough to match with your body weight and make sure that you're staying hydrated. Also, if you're doing like green juices throughout the day as well, once you're doing like lots of green juices, like some of those green juices could count towards the amount of liquid that you're consuming. Is that clear? Is that making sense? Okay, great. Okay. So, yeah, it's really important because a lot of times we treat our cars, we treat our vehicles a lot better than we do our bodies. And so you won't put in like terrible gas in your car because you know it's going to damage the engine and you know that your car won't run well. Look at your body as a nice luxury car, a nice luxury vehicle, which it is. And so you want to make sure that you're putting in the best nutrients and the best possible ingredients, the best possible fuel. And so you want to make sure that the fuel is unprocessed. You want to make sure that it has as many enzymes as possible. You want to make sure that it hasn't as much it's high water content, like your fruits and your vegetables. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of those in, because our bodies are like 85% water. So having high water content fruits and vegetables actually help our bodies to flourish more. And sometimes as well, just a quick tip, when we have a headache, when we feel headachy, what happens is that we might just be a little bit dehydrated. So if every time your body, your body's water level goes down by 1% below where it should be, it actually makes you feel, it makes you get a headache. So sometimes you actually don't need to take an aspirin. You just need to drink some more water, and that would actually make you feel better. Is that clear? Are you following? Is this making sense? Do you have any questions? And you want to go ahead and just start now to make sure that you're taking care of what goes in your body. You want to make sure that you're taking care of your beautiful, beautiful temple. You want to make sure that you're taking care of this temple. You want to make sure you're putting in the best fuel, and that's one of the things why it was so important for me to include that in the Flourish journey, because if you don't have the energy to make sure that your business is going, then what's the point? Your health is your wealth, and you want to make sure that you're feeling healthy so that you can take your business on and do extremely well with it. So I'm going to just stay for another minute or so to see if you have any questions. I think that you're following me okay. I think that you're getting what I'm saying. And yeah, you just want to make sure that, you know what I mean, you add those foods, and you make sure that you're adding the proper fuel to your body so that you could release toxins that don't need to be there. Remember, we were talking about releasing what doesn't need to be there, releasing those toxins, your stop doing list, taking a stand for you, taking a stand for your health, taking a stand for your flourishing, taking a stand so you're amplifying your energy. You know what I mean? Because you have to make sure that you have your own back and that you choose yourself. And by choosing yourself, you're choosing some of the right foods that you need to take care of. Great. So we're almost at the top of the hour. I want to thank you all for joining in with me today. I can't believe it's day 4 already. The days just kind of went by really quickly. And I really looking forward to tomorrow. There's some really special things I'm going to be sharing with you tomorrow. Have a really great night. And Lucy, I'll definitely be in touch with you. But yeah, have a really great night. And I want you to make sure that you really honor your body. You definitely choose you. You take a stand for yourself. You take a stand for your energy. You take a stand for your hydration. You take a stand for your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful temple. Love you guys. And I definitely look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great night. If there's anything that wasn't clear, if there was anything that you have any questions about, you definitely want to go ahead and put those in the chat, and I'll definitely answer those questions for you. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. And yeah, we'll talk then. Great. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.